Well, hi, this is Mike of the Homeless Educator, and I had a wonderful evening last night where I got an opportunity to talk to Pacific Palisades Democratic Party, and they had a special guest, Robert Reich, who teaches, used to be the labor secretary for Clinton on his first term, and a very active YouTuber and Facebooker, and actually was very supportive of Bernie when he ran during the primary in 2016. I've been a huge follower of Robert. I thought he's been brilliant. And last night, I had the opportunity of asking him a question in front of a large group at the Pacific Palisades Democratic Party, and I was hoping that I would get a moment of brilliance, because my particular passion is the cost of college and making it more accessible without student debt, where you actually have a very rich and learning environment. So I stood in line, about the third people to ask the question after his presentation, and he received the Courageous Award from this particular organization I went to last night. And I paid $50 to go to the event, and that was 1/4 of my money. So it was very important to me, and I got to meet with a lot of various different people that were very active, but none of them ever really wanted to connect with me in LinkedIn or Facebook or something like that. But anyway, long and short, I still had a marvelous time. And so I went up and I asked him this question. Robert, in Germany, the federal government, the government of Germany, funds the university system $11,000 per student to the universities to teach them in college, and they charge no tuition. In the United States, the federal and state local government fund on the average $12,000 a year per student, and yet they still charge an additional $12,000 on top of that, which we call tuition. So how can the United States, what would be the answer in the Democratic Party to answer how we might be a little bit more efficient in providing education to our students at $12,000? Ideally, it would be nice to have $11,000. So anyway, and then I ended my question. And then he responded in a way that was rather interesting, and he said that American universities are the number one in the world, and yada, 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 yada. And he never really answered my question, and how he basically ended with saying, let's kick the can down the road, in a sense. And during his presentation, he mentioned that he met the student, Clinton, on the boat ride over to the Oxford University. And he just, basically said how Americans are so superior, then why would you get on a slow-moving boat that you got seasick on to go to Oxford, for heaven's sakes? Why don't you stay in the United States, not go on the boat? So to me, it didn't ring true, so I asked a follow-up question. I basically said, I made a statement and then a question. I said, about 15 to 20 years ago, a site on the internet called Rate Your Professor, Rate Your Teacher, basically students could, give feedback on the professor. And what they find is that a lot of the students would say, this is a great place, great professor to take because you can get an easy A. He gives lots of A's, and he has a really great bell curve. Rigorous professors end up getting smaller classrooms, and so for job security, they want to make sure that they at least have a class, so they lower their standards to basically attract students back into the classroom. Over the past 10 years, I have made this statement to many, many students, I would say in over 300. And they all have that little Cheshire cat smile, like this. Like they were gaming the system, because Because basically what they've discovered is the average in the university system of the United States, 40% of all grades are A's, and 10% are D's and F's combined. So you only have 10% chance of failing. And primarily because this bell curve has gotten really big. And, students are graduating with a 4.4, which I thought when I went to college in 1980 and graduated in 1980, maybe one student got a 4.0, a perfect score. To get a 4.5 is on the regular here now in the university system because they've learned to game the system. Anyway, so Robert responded saying that was a Republican talking point. And I said, in my mind, I felt that I already asked two questions. I can't make a statement, but let me make the statement here in front of you, my viewers. And that is that I am currently registered as a Democrat. And that's my talking point. If it's a Republican talking point, I would have asked Bob or Robert, then maybe perhaps I'm in the wrong party. So please let me know what party I should be in. Leave a comment or a suggestion or share this video so that I know what party I should be in. Leave your comments as to whether or not Bob has been able to answer the question. I did go up after I asked my question, and I found out, I asked somebody else, a Never Trumper, if Bob had answered my question, and he said no. Bob did not answer that question. Thank you very much. Like my video, dislike my video. Well, please don't like my video because I don't get that many. But I'm a homeless educator, and I'm trying to my passion is to change education for the better. Thank you very much.